This is Two Old Men Waiting for the Apocalypse. I'm Gary on the East Coast,
And it looks like it's Paul on the West Coast. Yeah, it is. Thank you.
and today is January 1st of the year 2021, a new year, one which hopefully will be much better than the old year, which is gone now.
Gone but not forgotten.
Gone but not forgotten. Truer words were never. Since it's January 1st, perhaps it would be appropriate to have some New Year's resolutions. I've made a list, and at the very top of my list uh, is move to Florida. He laughs. He laughs, but taxes are lower in Florida. Real estate properties are cheaper. The weather is better, and there are many fine beaches.
and it's
The only problem, of course, is that I wouldn't move to Florida unless my kids and grandkids came with me, and I don't think they're interested in moving to Florida. So scratch that from my list.
well, that was
Eh,
an ambitious first resolution.
Well, a year ago, a little more than a year ago, my New Year's resolution was to go to a World Series game in which my team was a participant, and I never thought I'd get to do that. So hope springs eternal, as they say. Second on my list, number two,
How long is the list? I just need to know if I need to get a cup of coffee.
five, five things. This is
Okay.
number two:
All right.
protect and defend family, country, culture, and civilization. Not necessarily in that order.
Well, that's a biggie. That's a real biggie. Very biggie.
In fact, I would redefine that slightly and say fervently, fervently protect and defend family, country, culture, and civilization. A very ambitious resolution for someone who's 74 years old and not in the very best of health, but I have my good days, and they still uh, are in greater number than my bad days. Yesterday, by the way, was a really bad day. I didn't leave my room all day. I felt so bad. And I had a terrible night, but I seem to have recovered and I'm doing all right now. I'd be watching a football game now, but Alabama's already way ahead of Notre Dame, so I don't think that game's in doubt. Number three on my list is the perennial eat better and exercise more. I'm beginning to think that my bad days are directly related to what I eat. And I was sort of stuffing myself with all sorts of
Sugar.
tasty,
Sugar things.
tasty, but no, not too much sugar. Tasty, but not necessarily good for me. Things like crackers, cheese, cold cuts, etc., etc., etc. Number four, a very reasonable resolution, which I made last year but couldn't possibly carry out because of the pandemic, is to take a trip to someplace I've never been before, a photography trip. I've got all this new camera equipment, lenses, and even a new camera, and I haven't used any of it because, again, the impossibility of traveling during a pandemic or the difficulty. But I hope that once the vaccine becomes in widespread usage, I'll have a chance to take a photography trip. Now, on the subject of vaccines, I might add another reason to move to Florida is in Florida, the 65 to 75-year-olds don't have to wait to get in line. They're already lining up to get the vaccine. While where I am in Virginia, and I'm pretty sure where you are in California, we have to wait a couple of weeks, maybe a month or two before we get to do the vaccine line. So for some reason, Florida wants to save more of its older people. And that's another reason to move to Florida, though. By the time I got there, it probably wouldn't make any difference anymore, one way or the other. And my final, number five thing on my resolution, New Year's resolution list is to take the large sum of money which the federal government has already deposited in my bank account and spread it around or use it purposefully in support of my grandchildren, since, of course, anything the federal government gives you to you in the nature of a direct deposit is almost certainly stealing from my grandchildren. So I think I should spend it on them. I didn't do that with the first stimulus sum of money, but the second one, which is a little bit smaller, but still not insubstantial, I'm determined to spend it on my grandchildren so they will get a little return, what eventually will be the money they have to pay back. And that's my 5 New Year's resolutions.
Criminal negligence. And I would like to see some justice take place and some help given to all the people that are continually suffering from a country that, by the way, I don't know if you noticed during the New Year's celebrations around the world, they were all rather locked down. No one could go out in the streets and party except in China, in Wuhan. Wuhan had thousands of people in the streets celebrating the New Year. And I thought that was so hypocritical, since that country has never mentioned any condolences to the world because of what they unleashed, nor have they tried to help anyone. So they can party in the streets of Wuhan while the rest of the world has to hunker down in their bunkers. That's one resolution.
So any final resolutions before we call it quits today?
Yeah, I'd like to see the first human step forth on the surface of Mars. I think that would be a wonderful day. Just it'd be so exciting to see finally on another planet. That's great. I'd like to see.
Of course,
that.
the first person who goes to Mars is going to die there. You know that.
Well, in a way, that'll immortalize them for sure. Yeah.
I just soon die on Earth and skip the immortality part of
Now,
it.
I would go. If I win that lottery, I'm having myself put in a slab of lucite and shot out into space.
You're telling me there's a lottery for someone to go to Mars so they can die there?
No, if you have enough money, you can pay for it. You know, SpaceX will probably, if you pay them enough money, they'll stuff you in the capsule and send you out.
Usually it was rocket fuel in the way.
Yeah, we got use for you. We got use for you. Yeah.
As a young man, I dreamt of going into outer space, but as an old man, I think I'll just stay put to where I am.
Well, we could have some exciting things yet to be seen. We'll see.
I'm just trying to survive the pandemic.
Oh yeah, that's one of my first. That's one I forgot. That's one of my first.
My only fear, other than getting COVID-19 or the Wuhan virus or whatever you want to call it,
China plague,
is I'll get the vaccine, I'll get the second shot. The doctors will say it's very unlikely you're going to die from the pandemic or the virus. I jump in my car, I race over to get my first haircut in a year. I run into a Mack truck and die there on the road, bleeding with long hair. What a sad, sad thought.
I'm just waiting for some divine intervention here.
There's only 2 things I fear. One is dying from the coronavirus, and 2 is surviving the coronavirus and then dying right away. So it's been a whole year hiding, and then come out of hiding.
I won.
Dying from something else, that would be a real.
Yeah, that's the strange thing. Now we're also worried about the virus, but there's like 100 other things out there that's trying to kill us too.
And right now, because everyone's hiding out, people aren't dying from the flu. Very few flu cases.
Yeah.
We're going to miss the whole flu season.
Good.
That's amazing. Well, this has been an upbeat show.
Oh yeah, real upbeat. Let's just all focus on making 2021 the opposite of 2020.
Yeah, I'm just hoping to survive 2021. You didn't ever ask me what I was going to do to protect and defend my civilization or my culture.
You're probably going to send money to somebody.
No, it never works. I'm going to start some websites and I'm going to attack the Chinese communists and the leftists.
No, just please, just go for the Chinese first, please. Please do the Chinese first.
I don't think the Chinese will pay any attention to me.
No, it takes, every drop can fill an ocean.
I want you to think about this and what it means. It came to me suddenly the other day.
And where's all those websites you're supposed to stop get those domain names? You haven't done
Well,
that.
The
That's
one,
what's up.
the main name I wanted to use, Cato Censorius, nickname for Cato the Elder, the one that was always saying Carthage must be destroyed.
Yeah,
Some idiot used that in a blog spot. Some historian, you only used it 2 or 3 times, but let's ruin it for me. Last thing I want to do is to be confused with an historian of the Roman Empire. But in any case, I'll have to get another one. I'm working on it. The problem is that I'm having a Joe Biden moment. What is the problem? Oh, not a problem, but a
What is the
slogan.
problem?
This is a very important slogan. I want you to think about what it means and whether there's
All
any
right,
truth to it or not.
I'm
It's
ready
just, it's just something that came to me, and I'm not sure what it means either. But
okay.
we don't make America stronger by making China weaker. We make China weaker by making America stronger.
Yes. I'm using that.
No, it's mine.
Wait, no, because you never do anything. You always say you're going to do it, and you never do.
I'll sue you.
Join the club. Stand in line. Stand in line.
And talking about,
Say it again. Just say it one more time.
no, you'll never remember.
Stop it. I know that's the problem. I
No,
already
you
forgot.
won't remember. You've already
Stop it.
forgotten it.
Say it one more time. Come
You'll
on.
get it backwards and appear foolish. No, you know that the Congress has finally allowed, you may not remember this, but 20 years ago, they extended the copyrights on everything that had a copyright.
Yeah, I noticed that.
70 years, not to 90 years.
Yeah.
And now that they're letting it lapse. So anything that was published, written, whatever, copyrighted 95 years ago, that would be year 1920, a very important year, by the way, 1925, is now part of the public domain.
Open domain.
The Great
So
Gatsby is part of the public domain.
No, I don't think so. I think the
Yes, yes.
family did something
I
else
heard
there.
it on NPR radio. It's got to be true.
So are you telling me if I cull through all my hundreds of books that were published before 1925, I can republish them for free and claim them as my own?
Or you could buy it off the internet for 5 or 6 cents, because most of those things don't have a big market anymore. Great Gatsby does, because they sell it to school kids for summer reading. But yes, now they'll probably reinstall it, because the whole point of extending it again and again and again was to protect Disney World from losing the copyright of Mickey Mouse.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that date's coming up. But in any case, finally, you'd think how many people of the original Fitzgerald family have benefited from this copyright?
All of them.
Great
All of
grandchildren.
them. All of
Great
them.
grandchildren
Yeah.
are about the only ones. That doesn't seem fair. But yeah, 1925. And one assumes that every year now, unless the Congress and its woods, of course, now the leftists are in control of the federal government, they'll probably extend it another 20 years. But like I said, most of the things that you want to read, they cost almost nothing. You can buy them on the internet for almost nothing, and in compilations of great literature. But in any case, 1925 or earlier, all this includes music, includes pictures, it includes books.
Pictures? Are you saying pictures also?
Anything.
Photographs?
There's no copyright protection on anything now that was created and copyrighted in 1925 or earlier.
Bye-bye and Happy New Year, and make the world a better place for everybody. And stay well, stay healthy. Adios.
That was kind of long for a simple bye-bye.
There's a New Year's thing. There's a New Year's.
New Year's. All right. Bye-bye.